Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fake Hype 2025, your favorite low budget show with just the right amount of quality. And I'm here for movie review. We're going to talk about Soul Champs, the movie. Now, normally, when I do Fake Hype, I don't use a script. But this time I actually had to make notes because there were so many things I wanted to talk about throughout this entire movie. It's kind of raw thoughts, it's a bit scattered, so bear with me. If you see me reading down words against me, I had to make notes. Trinidad versus Barbados versus St. Lucia. Shout out to the Super Salty Flakes team and anyone else who was responsible for this movie and general production. I loved it. The music, the clips used, the effects, and the narrative was excellent. I loved the introductions to each player stating their rank, the beautiful world building, and it helped to set the scene for the individual islands. It helped to give each community their own personality and flair, as well as it set the scene for the motivations in the tournament. And of course, I appreciate that I was a cameo. I made your boy Figure was a cameo in the movie. And so I was so glad to be part of this Smash documentary slash Smash movie. I'm really sorry I couldn't have been there for the actual event on the ground, but I would love to do commentary with someone from Barbados or St. Lucia one day. So as I said, these are just my raw, unfiltered thoughts. I'm going to try to keep it sequential, but at the same time, it's not going to be too spoiler heavy. All I'm going to say is you really need to watch this movie. If you watch the movie, then you're here with me. One of the things that really stood out to me when watching it initially was at the start when King Ark went into a bit more to what motivated him to come to this regional. He said, I just want to go to the tournament and beat everyone. Now, Mikey's a humble guy. And as he said, when he come, he was just coming for fun and hang with the boys, but he felt that Caribbean rivalry, that in a fire that we have for each other. It's friendly banter, but at the same time, it is get serious real quick. And as the man said, I just want to show up and I'm not one to be messed with. I felt that! I felt that, King Ark! Tournament today's segment. Oh my gosh. Now, at the start of the whole movie, they said this was one of the most stacked regionals. And at first, I kind of disapproved. I was like, was it really? But when you really get into the movie, and you're watching and you see the narrative unfold and you really understand the level of the people that was in this tournament, this may have been one of the stacked Eastern Caribbean Smash tournaments in recent memory. So Shaka as an interviewer is great. Those interviews he did, juxtaposed or blending into the matches, were beautiful. Again, it really highlighted player motivations and giving depth to each match, what they're fighting for, what they're trying to prove, who they are, and all of this is being communicated through the gameplay. Even though it showed some people losing, I still think it highlighted how good everyone is, as each person had their own moment, win or lose, to shine, and that in itself is good narrative framing. I also appreciated learning about the new Smashers I didn't know previously. Shout out to men like Vanity, Bankman, PTSD, Luffy. I know your names now though. Respect. The cutaway to 2018 Narco. That was so hype. I don't want to lie to you. Narco, aka Rick, is a legend and has been a top player in this, well, not only Bajan Smash community, but the Eastern Smash community for over a decade. Shout out to my boy Narco. Rick, you're bad enough. You're bad. You know what's hit my real heart too? The re-emergence of Flake King. And watch that when he was talking about his villain arc and how he had to come back stronger. Respect, yeah. That one hit deep. I was like, yeah, boy, the struggle real. Some other major highlights for me. That Kaneki pop off. Watch now. It was this Kaneki. You do your thing, bro. I was crying. I ain't gonna lie, I was crying. Another one, the legend of Mouse Rat. That's what I'm gonna say. Mouse Rat, you are a legend. Yeah, your reputation precedes you. You will continue haunting Trinis for a while. I know I mentioned T'Chaka a while back, but that was T'Chaka the interviewer. Now T'Chaka the player. I met T'Chaka years ago in Barbados in AnimeCon whilst playing Smash 4. And it was cool hearing his origin story and how he was motivated by the Bajans to become better. Because I met T'Chaka as the best player in St. Lucia. And it's great to know that T'Chaka, you still retain your skills. Keep up the good work, man, and keep on pushing. There are so many amazing moments through this movie, and I'm trying not to spoil anything because you really should watch it to catch the gist of everything. But that 2015 Barbados flashback transition to 2025, the rivalry and high standard that King Arc and Narcos hold themselves to, and to meet back in winner semis of a stacked regional. Is this scripted? It's, yeah. Sometimes it feel like Smash script. That's scripted. That the grand finals. The grand finals. So hype. Where the hype just building and building and building and just watch the movie. Just watch the movie. If you haven't watched it yet, yeah. But if you have watched it, then you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It went down in grand finals. This entire movie was an amazing insight into the overall competitive nature of the Eastern Caribbean Smash community, our uniqueness and talents. It was a great movie. It was great production quality. And if you are a Smasher or even a member of the esports community in another game, give this movie a watch to learn about the Smash Brothers community. I highly recommend it. And last but certainly not least, Team Trinidad and Tobago. Amazing showing. I absolutely loved how your story is being told. You guys are the next generation, and you're carrying on the legacy that those before you built in your own way. It's a new era, and you're setting the tone in your own way. Keep it going and keep the flag flying high. Keep aiming for the bigger picture. As you all have seen, when you leave Trinidad, it's an entirely different situation. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture and keep that drive going to continuously get better and improve. Big up all yourself, Mewtwo, Vibrance, Kaneki, and X-Chaos. And shout out to the Great Gaming Lounge for their support, contribution, and branding our Trinidad Smashers. Now, this last part is specifically to the Trinidad Smash community. The entire Trinidad Smash community. We are not playing at 100%. Right now, we are playing at 60%. King Arc said something insightful, in my opinion. He said, Trinidad has a group of good players that are teaching each other, and that's what they have over Barbados and St. Lucia. Then it transitioned to where you saw the solutions, practicing hard for the tournament. Beijing going to come and rough them up, practice for them Trinis. And it showed the level of determination and grit that, and especially it even also shows how the other islanders view Trinidad and Tobago. The GGL insurgents are pushing on their own with little input from the wider community, and look how these Smashers are doing. They are pushing themselves. How much better would they be with more matchup experience, with different characters, with different playstyles, new advice, new criticisms, and what about more high pressure game 5 situations where adapting is crucial? All of these things we can help the insurgents with, and in fact, Let's get more people on Team Trinidad and Tobago. But the only way that could happen is if we support our own. As I said earlier, we are only operating on 60% because this is not the full community input. Let's get everyone's input. Let's grow even further, and let's show the entire Caribbean what we're made of. This was your boy Ninja644, aka Fig, and see you next time.